and welcome to Garden Style. Well, we are already at the end of the month of June, and I thought it'd be a good idea just to take you guys on a little tour so you can see what progress has happened here in the garden. And of course there's a whole lot more in bloom this time around. So I hope you enjoy the tour. Here we go. Well, I'm going to introduce you to Golden Sedum and Purple Creeping Thyme. The combination is absolutely spectacular, and we've had perfect weather to get it all to start blooming. Oh look, and we have a little bumblebee making his debut. This has turned out fantastic. This is in a rock garden that I have made. And I'm just amazed at the combinations and how well all of this has done. We just got over a 100-degree heat wave about 3-4 days ago. And this kind of stuff, all the sedum that you see in here and the thyme, didn't even blink an eye. It just loves hot weather. So if you've got a real rocky area with a lot of sand, this is the perfect stuff to put in. It just makes a fantastic ground cover. And I'm going to back up here just a little bit so you can get an idea just how much it has spread across the bed here. And mind you, this thyme right here, this creeping thyme, started out as a 4-inch potted plant, and I just put it in the center, and this is a year later, and look how much it has spread. So very happy. It has really good drainage and it loves the full sun. So that comes highly recommended. All right, on to another treat. So I'm hoping the sunlight doesn't take away from this maple that you see here. This is a variegated pink maple, and it is absolutely spectacular. It gets this beautiful pink foliage on it, and it stays for all summer long. And then in the fall, it will turn this brilliant, like auburn burgundy color, is probably the best description I can come up with. But these are fantastic trees, and they are out here in the front yard in the full sun, and they don't seem to mind it a bit. But I will get up a little closer here so you can get an idea. The new growth comes out in this bright, bright pink. See that? And then the leaves right behind it, it gradually turns into those variegated leaves with a pinkish tinge on the end. These are fairly rare and hard to find. And honestly, I don't know the actual name of it. This is something I found in a greenhouse nursery. It was like a wholesale place, and I just fell in love with the color, and it was exactly what I needed at the bottom of my driveway. So I just wanted to show it to you because it's just magnificent at this time of the year. And then right underneath, I wanted to introduce you to a fantastic perennial right here. Hopefully that will focus for you. This is called Roxanne, and it's a perennial geranium, and this thing will bloom. You can see all the purple blooms here. This thing just goes absolutely berserk during the summertime, and it just keeps blooming and blooming and blooming all the way up until the first frost. So I just wanted to introduce that variety to you because I am thrilled with them. They can take the heat, they can take a little bit of drought once they're established, and they're just beautiful. They have a little white eye in the middle of them, and there's just a bazillion of them, as you can see there. So moving on to the next specimen. Okay, this is another fantastic ground cover. This is called Hypericum. Most of you may know this as St. John's wort. Definitely a medicinal quality to this particular plant, but it also makes a fantastic ground cover. So as I start to back up here, you will see that there's a lot of buds in here, and this will soon be a sea of yellow flowers. It's a fantastic ground cover. I absolutely love it, and it will just get coated in these beautiful yellow blooms that you see here. The bees absolutely love it, and it is hardy as heck. And this is mostly evergreen here in Zone 8. These do not lose their leaves. So another reason why I really like it is as a ground cover, it will stay where it is. It's not like the ground goes bare during the wintertime. And it's got a really neat texture to it with the leaves. But here in about a week, now that we're getting some really hot weather, this whole area in here will just be a sea of yellow. They're just now getting started and starting to bud out. But I wanted to introduce you to this variety. This is what you call St. John's wort, if you've never seen it. Here's another really cute purple flower. This is Campanula, and these are like a miniature size, and they just happen to be growing through the flax plant that I have planted in behind them. Another fantastic perennial, and as you can see, blooming its little heart out. And this can take sun to part shade. This isn't actually in the full sun all day. It probably gets maybe 4 hours of sunshine, and it absolutely loves it. As you can see, it's just going absolutely berserko. And then right next to it here, I have what we call a sedge grass. And I know it kind of looks like it's dead, but it's not. This is what it looks like. It kind of has a bronze foliage to it, and they get really, really long. I really like this grass, like in a planter up off the ground, and it'll actually grow. If you let it go, it'll actually grow all the way to the ground. But I just love it for its texture. I've got it sitting up against some rocks here in the landscape with the campanula behind it and the flax, and then one of my favorite trees sitting right behind it, which is a coral bark maple with the coral colored bark on it. But a couple more new specimens for you that I wanted you to see, especially with the campanula in its glory right now during the month of June and July. This will stay blooming, and if I trim it back, I'll probably get some more out of it by fall. So let the tour continue. Okay, this rose bush was in my March, it's either February or March video on how to trim roses. This is actually a knockout rose, is the name of this variety. And here again, another plant that has just gone insane. It's very happy. And you will notice some little blue flowers peeking through the top up here. This is actually Johnson's blue geranium. And this is another awesome perennial, comes back every year, blooms its little heart out, and it actually prefers a little part shade compared to most geraniums, but sure makes a neat combination with the knockout rose. And you'll notice in the background I have hydrangeas that are just now starting to bud out and go into bloom. This is part of the shade garden, which is on the side of the house. So I'm going to take a tour here and walk around. You can see this hydrangea is huge and it's just loaded with flowers. I'm so thrilled. But as I move down through here, we have the hostas coming into bloom. Leaves got a little bug eaten, and they got a little beat up by a hailstorm that we had a few weeks ago. But it didn't care. It's still blooming. Right down below here we have heucheras. But the most spectacular sight right at the moment are these stilbes in the shade garden. Look at that. We also have foxglove. These are actually native to Washington State. These are just volunteers that just magically appeared in the garden, and of course I kept them. This is also where they get digitalis from for heart patients. But look at this astilbe. Happy, happy, happy plants. Back up a little bit here, and you'll see down below some more heucheras. Beautiful, beautiful color. What a great way to break up the green in the garden. Some more hostas coming into bloom. We also have pink astilbes mixed in with the hostas. And a beautiful astilbe sitting there. Just amazing. I'm filming this in the evening where the light is a little more agreeable so that you're not getting a lot of glare. So I'm hoping this comes out okay. I'm going to walk through the trellis here just so you can get an idea of the size of this astilbe. It's just huge. They're very, very happy here in the shade. And another hosta down here going into bloom. And this just happens to be a lavender flower that this one is spitting out. But the hostas are very happy, and I'm just thrilled to see they are blooming, especially after the 100-degree heat we just came through just a few days ago. But they are doing great, as you can see. Okay, so a little bit of a view of the perennial bed. These are campanulas in the back. This is a different variety. There's probably 100 varieties of campanula. I just love them because they're so easy to take care of. And right in front of them are Shasta daisies that are about to come into bloom. And then an old-fashioned, all-time favorite of mine is phlox. Now these guys have started to bloom. The bees, the hummingbirds, you name it, absolutely adore these flowers. And this is just the beginning. I'm going to come back here in a couple of weeks because there's just buds all over them here, so that you can see how amazing they are once they're in full-on bloom. And you'll see right behind there my planter that I put in a while back that is also blooming his little heart out. He's very happy. And then I'm going to cruise around the edge here and show you what the catmint looks like. So I have a sidewalk here that I have lined with the catmint, and you can see it is sprawled out over the sidewalk and going crazy. It's just really super happy. If I pan across the sidewalk here, I have more on the other side, and all these were divisions from earlier this year. And you'll see Liatris is starting to come up through them. Fantastic bulb. Cool thing about Liatris is it blooms from the top down rather than from the bottom up, so they're a little different that way. But I just love them. They're bulbs and they just keep coming back every year, and they get bigger and bigger as they start to multiply. But again, in a couple of weeks, once that's in bloom, it makes a fantastic combination with the catmint. Okay. And of course, let's not forget the roses. They are starting to come into their own, as you can see in the back there. Some more Johnson's blue geraniums. Another one of my favorite roses is about to open up here. This is called Tropicana. It's like this beautiful salmon orange, super pretty. Another one starting to finish up in the back there. I was blessed with a lot of roses in this garden. But as I go to pan across the garden here, I'm not too sure about the lighting and how this is going to look, but we're going to do our best to get all this in. So I have a sea of Johnson's blue geraniums, which I adore, and I just keep dividing these and moving them around the yard, and they don't seem to mind. And then another variety of geranium here. This is Anne Focard, and this was actually the very first perennial geranium I had ever tried. I was told it would bloom all summer without fail until the first frost, and they did not lie. And it's just a beautiful pink with kind of a deep burgundy eye on the inside. And as you can see, they're just caked in blooms. And this is another one where probably by next year, they've been here 3 years now, I can probably go in and start dividing them and moving them around as well. But just love that when you find something that you can get a lot of mileage out of. It doesn't mind the heat. It can take sun, part shade. It actually blooms better if it's getting sun. But just wanted to introduce those to you as well. You've got to get these. They're amazing. Now this is my first daylily to come out into bloom. They're not all in bloom yet, but they're sure fat with buds, so I'm happy about that. The heat definitely got them going. Isn't that a gorgeous color? You can see this one clear across the yard. And then over here, I had one just open up today in a real pale lemon yellow. And I just got through watering them as they were very, very dry after today's heat. It was about 80 degrees today. And some Johnson's blue geraniums, of course, down at the foot of them. They're all kind of drooped over due to the fact that I just got through watering in here. But check this out. All of the buds on these daylilies, and they are just about to pop. I can't wait to show these to you guys once they get opened up. Okay, I had to show you this evergreen tree. This is called Cryptomeria, and that light yellow or light green foliage that you see there is all of its new growth, and that's what it looks like when it starts putting out its new growth. Is that gorgeous or what? This is an evergreen. It will get about 15 feet tall. I have it stationed up near my fence so I can kind of block out the neighbor's house across the way. But this thing is amazing. And I forget that it's here until about this time of the year when it really gets going with its new growth. But Cryptomeria is the name of it. It is actually sitting in part shade and doing quite well. It is very happy. Look at all the new growth on it. So if you guys have a place to put one of these, I highly recommend it. Being it's an evergreen and it doesn't lose its leaves, this is just amazing as far as its new growth goes. I'm going to try backing up here a little bit without running over plants, just to give you an idea there. Is that gorgeous or what? Oh, so pretty. Alright you guys, I hope you enjoyed that short little end of June tour. There is so much going on in this yard. I wish I could show you more, but I don't want to have the video run forever. But what I will tell you is in my next video, I'm going to go over how I ripped out some old raised beds for my veggie garden, finally getting them in, and installed some new ones, as well as planting some plants. So I'm going to teach you guys a little bit about square foot gardening as far as the veggie beds are concerned. And no, it's not too late. There are still plenty of vegetables that you can plant right now for harvest in August and September. So I will go over all those details with you next week. Meanwhile, I hope all of you are enjoying your June. Going into July, we've got the 4th of July coming up, so I want to wish everybody a very happy 4th. Hope you have some awesome weather wherever you're at. And of course, any questions or comments, you know where you can find me at GardnStyleNW.com, or you can email me at GardnStyleNwest@gmail.com. Appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for watching. And of course, all the new subscribers who have come on board, thank you for watching as well. We have so much more to do. Even though we're going into July, there's still so many things we can cover over the next couple of months, and I'm so excited. Got all kinds of stuff lined up for you. All right, you guys, take care. Have some fun in the garden, and of course, relax. We are getting to that time of the year where there's not quite as much to do. It's finally starting to slow down a little bit and get into some fun stuff. So enjoy your gardens, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.